What if every morning, your n8n workflow had already found new businesses in any city, pulled their emails, written a personalized cold email based on what kind of business they are, and sent it, all while you were asleep? That's exactly what we're building today. And the best part? You can point this at any industry, any city, any niche. Let's get into it. Before we touch anything, let's understand the shape of this whole system. There are four major stages. Stage 1. We configure what we're looking for: the search terms, the city, the settings. Stage 2. We fire an Appify actor that goes out and scrapes Google Maps, pulls back business names, addresses, emails, phones, social links, all of it. Stage 3. We clean that data, check against our existing Google Sheet so we never contact the same business twice, and filter by whether an email actually exists. Stage 4. For every lead with an email, we loop through, build a personalized HTML email based on the business category, send it via Gmail, and log everything to the sheet. This is a full lead generation machine. One trigger. Zero manual work. We start with a manual trigger. This just lets us run the workflow on demand. Connected to that is a set node, which I've named Edit Fields. This is your control panel. Everything you want to customize lives here. Let me walk through the key fields. Search query. This is a comma-separated list of business types. Right now it says real estate agency, dental clinic, medical clinic, aesthetic clinic. You can put anything here: law firms, gyms, restaurants, whatever niche you're going after. The system handles the splitting later. Location query. This is the city. Seattle, USA right now. You change this every run so you're rotating through different cities. Max crawled places per search, set to 100. That means up to 100 results per search term. With 4 terms, that's up to 400 businesses per run. Scrape contacts. This is critical. It's set to true. Without this, Appify won't go dig for email addresses on business websites. The rest of the Booleans, scrape directories, scrape place detail page, include web results. These are all off by default. Leaving them off keeps the scrape fast and the data clean. This node is the only place you ever need to edit. The rest of the workflow reads from these values. Let's test this. I'll run just this node. You can see in the output, search query, location query, all our settings are sitting there as data, ready to be passed forward. Perfect. Next up is the Appify node. Appify is a platform that runs pre-built web scrapers. They call them actors. The one we're using is called Google Maps Email Extractor. It scrapes business listings from Google Maps and then goes a step further. It actually visits business websites to find contact details. Now, the important part here is the custom body. This is where we pass our configuration from the set node into the actor's API. Look at this expression. It's a self-executing JavaScript function inside n8n. What it does is take the search query field, split it by commas, trim any white space, and turn it into an array called search strings array. That's what the Appify actor expects. An array of search strings, not a single comma-separated string. So real estate agency, dental clinic becomes like these. That's the split happening right here in this expression. Everything else, location, max results, scrape contacts, gets passed through from the previous set node using $JSON notation. One important note: this node will take a few minutes to run. Appify is going out, crawling Google Maps, visiting websites, extracting emails. You'll see it sit in a running state. That's normal. Don't panic. When it comes back, you'll see the raw dataset. Lots of fields, some useful, some not. The next node is where we clean all of that up. This is the first code node. Its job is simple. Take the raw Appify output and extract only what we care about. We loop through every item that came back. For each one, we check 3 things. Does it have emails? Does it have phones? Does it have a website? If all 3 are empty, we skip it. No point logging a business we can't contact at all. The output of this node is a tidy, consistent item for every business that has at least some contact info. Look at this output. Nice and clean. Business name, category, email, phone, exactly what we need. This is the data we're going to filter and then act on. Now we get into one of the most important parts of this system, making sure we never contact the same business twice. First, we read the existing data from our Google Sheets tracker. This is set with execute once true, meaning it only fetches the sheet once per workflow run, not once per item. That's important for performance. Then, the remove duplicates code node compares the scraped data against what's already in the sheet. The matching logic works like this. For each existing row in the sheet, we build a key. The primary key is the website URL, lowercased and trimmed. If a business doesn't have a website, the fallback key is the business name plus the address, joined with a pipe character. Then for each scraped lead, we build that same key and check if it already exists in our set. If it does, we skip it. If it doesn't, we add it to our filtered results and also add it to the set. This prevents duplicates within the same run too, in case Appify returns the same business from two different search terms. The result? Only fresh, never-seen businesses make it through. In a real run, you might get 200 results from Appify, but only 80 or 90 pass the dedup check. That's normal and expected. After deduplication, we hit an if node. The condition is simple. Does this lead have an email or all_emails value that is not empty? If yes, it goes down the true branch into the loop to get emailed. If no, it goes down the false branch, gets logged to the sheet with a status of no email, and that's it. We still want to keep that record because we know the business exists. Maybe we'll contact them by phone later, or manually. This is the fork that splits contactable leads from stored but not emailable leads. The loop over items node processes our leads one at a time. This is critical. We don't want to blast all emails at once. We want to process each lead individually so that if one email fails for some reason, the rest of the loop still continues. This node has two outputs. Output 0 is done. It fires when there are no more items to process, connecting to a no operation node that just ends the workflow cleanly. Output 1 is the loop output. This fires once per item and sends it forward to the email building step. This is where the personalization happens, and this is what makes this system feel different from a generic blast. The code reads the business name and the category. It then uses a series of if-else conditions to match the category to a specific email template. If the category includes the word dental or dentist, it sends a dental-specific email about appointment reminders and no-shows. If it includes real estate or realtor, it sends an email about after-hours inquiry response. If it includes aesthetic or med spa, it sends an email about lead nurturing and reactivation. There are templates for law firms, insurance brokers, accounting firms, marketing agencies, and a general fallback that works for anything else. Notice that each email is HTML formatted. Proper HTML structure, inline styles, professional layout, not plain text. That matters for deliverability and professionalism. Also notice the greeting logic. If the business name contains words like LLC, clinic, agency, dental, it greets with "Hi there." If it looks like a personal name, it greets by name. Small detail, big impact. The output of this node is the subject line and the HTML body, ready to send. Now we send. The Gmail node picks up the email address from the loop over items node using the item reference, $parenthesis loop over items.item.json.email, and it sends the HTML body as the message. Attribution is turned off, and the node is set to continue on error. That means if one email address bounces or fails, the workflow doesn't stop. It logs and moves on. After Gmail sends, we hit a second if node, if1. This checks whether the Gmail send returned an ID. If Gmail sent successfully, there's an ID in the response. If it failed silently, there isn't. This is how we detect whether the email actually went out. If it's sent, we log to Sheets with status, contacted, then hit the wait node. The wait node pauses the loop for a short delay before going back to process the next item. This delay is important. It's what prevents you from sending emails too fast, which can hurt your deliverability and potentially get your account flagged. If it didn't send, we log to Sheets with status. No email, meaning something went wrong with that address, and loop back to continue with the next item. And this is what it looks like running. Each row fills in business name, category, email, phone, all their details, status. Your tracker is building itself. Every lead accounted for, every contact attempt logged. Before you run this, there are rules you need to follow to keep this system safe and effective. Number 1. Rotate your location and keyword combinations. Never run the same city plus the same business type twice back to back. Appify will return overlapping results and your dedup will catch most of them, but you'll also be wasting credits. Keep a simple log of what combinations you've used. Number 2. Do not set the wait node delay too low. Between 30 seconds and a few minutes per email is a reasonable range depending on your volume. The goal is to look like a human, not a bot. Number 3. This workflow is dynamic. The categories in the email code node, the search terms in the set node, the location, these are all just text. You don't need to rebuild anything, just change those values and the whole system adapts. You could run this for plumbers in Chicago or law firms in Miami just by editing 2 fields. Number 4. This is cold outreach. Respect your local regulations around unsolicited email. Canned spam in the US requires an opt-out mechanism and accurate sender info. Keep that in mind before you scale. Let's recap what we built. A manual trigger feeds a set node that acts as your control panel. Appify scrapes Google Maps and pulls business contact data. A code node cleans it. We load our existing tracker from Google Sheets and remove any duplicates. An if node splits leads into contactable and not. We loop through the contactable ones, build a category-matched HTML email using pure JavaScript logic, send it via Gmail, and log everything, contacted or not, back to the sheet with a wait between each send. This is a real system, the kind people pay consultants to build, and you just built it in n8n. In the next lesson, this is actually the quiz for Chapter 3, so before you get to anything new, go test yourself on what we've covered in the course so far. And if you want to download this exact workflow, head over to my course profile. Good luck.